So that was one dimension, taking on the thoughts that's going on in my mind, writing self-forgiveness, writing out the pattern of it, what what's going on within myself, within my mind, in the moment, observing what's the thoughts, what am I doing inside myself, and writing it down, and then forgiving that which is not best for all. So you want to stick to the principles of what is best for all, what is best for life, who am I as life? What is my highest potential? What do I want to express here? And how do I want to be treated? How I want to be treated is how everybody wants to be treated. So, what kind of example can I set as someone who treats others as how I would like to be treated? So that was my focus, and that was my goal: was to support, was to bring life here, was to stick to the principles of oneness and equality, and doing what is best for all. So those were always my focus points, and they were always here within me to guide me in my process in this life. Because that's what I want to create. That's what I want to create of myself and what I want to create in this reality. And as you start to become self-honest within yourself, your mind doesn't have such a hold on you, because you start to observe it. You start to understand what's going on within it. And you're able to take those points and direct them as who you are, as the best of yourself. And that's living the self-forgiveness points into self-correction, into real life. So you're taking your writing, what you learned in your writing, you're bringing it into your everyday life. And this is like a process. It takes time. It takes trial and error. It takes tries. You have to keep practicing, because it's not going to come quick. It's not going to come overnight. It takes time to learn and integrate. There was this one point that I was facing, and I had to, I was afraid to be with people a lot. I was very afraid, because I was afraid that people were going to judge me and make fun of me. I was going to be put back in that point of humiliation. Because I figured, I had this idea that I had something going on with my look, that people were going to target me and just take me out, those kind of people that like to do that. So I was always on guard with people. So I was always afraid. So this brings me into the next point I realized about this bullying point, that why do people, the reason people bully people, once I got to a point where I was stopping the bullying within myself and stopped bullying other people in my reality, kind of transcending that bully programming or polarity that's playing out, leaving myself inferior and superior. It's more, I'm seeing myself as an equal. I'm seeing myself in relating to others and what is best, and being the example of change. So I stood and took responsibility for myself to do whatever it has to be done to change and support the being to the best of my ability. And I'm not saying I'm perfect and I just did it. It took me tries, and this is what I focused on. And I'm not there yet. I'm not perfect, obviously, but this has been my process. It's just what I focus on. And make it simple, just keep it simplistic, keep it to the tools, keep it to the basics, and just practice in reality. Like sports, I was very athletic into sports, so it's very much correlated and aligned with sports. You don't know what you're doing at first. You have no idea. You just go out there, and for me, I was a big hockey player, so in the beginning I just went out there. I had no idea how to skate. I had to learn all the basics. So I just go out there, keep falling. Eventually I got on my skates and started skating a little bit. Then I had to learn how to do crossovers, so fall, but eventually I got the crossovers down. Then I had to learn how to skate backwards, fall. Eventually I got to learn how to skate backwards. Then I had to learn how to skate backwards and do backwards crossovers. And that was a real challenge, so it took me falls, and eventually I got it. So it's just like that point. It's just, you just keep practicing. You never, ever, ever, ever give up on yourself and what is best for all life. That's another key. Never give up on yourself or what is best for all life, no matter what, because it's doable. You just have to keep with it. Just like sports, you just keep with it, and eventually you are a collegiate hockey player, which I eventually was. So yeah, so I just practiced and realized eventually, as I walked through my own programming of the point of being bullied and being a bully, is that people who bully are within themselves in that same design, the bullying and the bullied, and they have used those that they see as inferior to themselves as scapegoats, as points of so they don't have to actually look within themselves. So they're just walking the beginning process of the bully and bullying. They are potentially can be supported, so you can stand as that point of support and share. I could share my process with them and who they are. I have one person in mind that I'm thinking about that was pretty abrasive and nasty towards me. So eventually I had to block him on my phone. So I was supporting him through texts, through chatting with him, and eventually he got to a point where he was just not hearing me and just keep on going, so I just had to block him. And sometimes you have to do that in reality, just block, ban. And they will walk their process in their point, in their location point, and eventually realize the same thing, that we're all equals and nobody is more or less than anybody here, that we're all walking the process, we're all the same in this process, and we're all life. And yeah, each one's just facing themselves. So yeah, you just bring it back to yourself, and then who are you within this? Who are you? How can you create yourself? It's like, it doesn't really matter about other people in the sense that what other people are walking in their process is who they're being in their process. What matters is who you are and what you're going to create, how you are going to support the people around you. Are you going to be an example to them? Or are you still reacting to that person? Is there something in you that you're reacting to, and you have to walk the process of self-forgiveness and self-change? Because there's always reactions. I mean, until they're done, and they'll still be here. You can see it within yourself, especially if you become self-honest and start to be serious in this process of destiny, taking on the mind and changing yourself. But as you stay disciplined within this process, within changing yourself, you get to understand the design like I just spoke about. I understand the design of bullying and bully. I understand what's going on within myself that's creating this play out in my reality, so I can stop it within myself. When I see I'm going into self-judgments, I stop, breathe, and live living words such as self-love, self-acceptance, physical equality, oneness. All these words I have integrated into myself, and they support me in reality to remember, to get back to my life force, to get back to what matters, the principles, and bring me back to myself, my self-responsibility, my living self, like what I'm going to do in this life, what I'm going to live here. And that is where the power is within yourself and who you can be, who you are. Because once you get that within yourself, that you are directing yourself, you have the ability to be the best you can be. It's like game's on, like floodgates open. You've got it. You just now are just walking and seeing who you're going to be and taking on the points that come, facing those points and continuing to be here and just take what's going on here, just create and live and enjoy and just live words. Like you can live words of enjoyment. If you become like angry, you take those points on. Okay, why am I angry here? What is creating anger within me? And then you start investigating and you start learning about yourself and the mind and all those points that are going on. And I highly suggest listening to equaf.com, which is like the library of the mind system through the portal and through all the beings that come through. So there's an education process that is just incredible. I mean, it's all here. You just have to walk the process, walk the learning process, and walk the application process. And you start to develop your self stability, self life force as you create yourself. And yeah, I've come a long way myself. And I could say I'm proud of myself, what I've walked thus far, and transcending the bully and bullied mind systems, and it's overall, it's just, I highly suggest the Destiny Eye process, because that's what supported me to get through it. equaf.com, listen, educate yourself, and practice in the physical, never giving up on yourself and what is best for all life as your living expression, and enjoy. Thanks for listening. Till next time, bye.